Hello, I'm Catherine Stolarchuk. We're taking you straight live to Sydney now, where federal police are about to speak about Australia's second biggest drug bust on record.
2,800 kilograms of border-controlled drugs. In this case, methamphetamine and MDMA. That represents the largest seizure in Australia's history of methamphetamine, almost twice the second largest seizure, and the second largest seizure of MDMA in Australia's history. What you see on the table to your right represents approximately a quarter of the total seizure. Of course, today's arrest does not bring this investigation to a conclusion. Search warrants are being executed across New South Wales as we speak, and we're hopeful of further arrests. The investigation will continue and will obviously have a range of national and international aspects. In many ways, the work of the police is just beginning. I want to particularly thank all of the agencies involved, our border agencies, national and local law enforcement, for the tireless way they have worked on this investigation. It's another reminder that our law enforcement agencies in this country are working hard to halt the illicit drugs reaching our streets. Police will allege that the consignment originated in Europe and arrived in Australia a little earlier in November. The narcotics were concealed with furniture. I particularly want to thank our customs colleagues for their good work in identifying this seizure and my police colleagues for the seamless way this investigation has been conducted. The seizure from this operation represents $1.5 billion in street value of illicit drugs, money that was going to be paid by kids, drug users and their families. As we approach the festive season and the holiday season, each kilo of methamphetamine alone represents 10,000 street deals of methamphetamine. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a sophisticated operation. By any measure, this is an enormous seizure of illicit narcotics that have been removed from distribution on our streets. It's also a bold attempt by organised crime to target this country with large illicit narcotic importations. I'm sure you'll have questions, but before we do that, I'd just like to hand over to my colleagues to say a few words, starting with you, Mr Scipio.
Thank you. Thank you, Andrew. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've said it before, that's organised crime at its worst and that's law enforcement at its best. Today you've been told about what has been an enormous seizure. Make no doubt about it, the numbers are enormous. When we talk about 2 tonnes of MDMA, we're talking upwards of 10 million individual doses, tablets. The sort of drug that recently took the life of a very young girl at a concert. So we're talking serious drugs. And when we're talking the single biggest seizure of ice in the nation's history, we know that this is a significant arrest and seizure that will make a difference on the streets of Australia, but particularly here in New South Wales. Previous history making seizure, as Mr Colvin said, was about 580 kilograms. Well, today I'm advised that we are looking at about 880 or so kilograms of ice. A couple of points that we need to make as well. The work that has led to this point where this seizure has taken place needs to be acknowledged. Certainly, I'd like to thank our colleagues from Customs and praise Customs for the work that's been done here. These sorts of seizures come as a result of a lot of hard work that's done on the borders. That's where we like to see these drugs stopped. We don't want them to get to the street, and that's why, as part of the joint organised group that was responsible for this seizure, the New South Wales Police Force has played such a significant part. Can I tell you, this investigation from a New South Wales Police perspective at the Organised Crime Squad is one that's been going on now for many, many months. The investigation will continue. It is not over. This investigation, I am sure, will lead to more arrests, as it should. And clearly, we are looking to send a very strong message again by today. You know, the notion of stopping the importation is one thing, but the message that needs to go to those that are in the business of importing these drugs is just as important. My advice is go somewhere else. Go to another country. Don't bring your evil poison here to Australia. And if we can't make you see the light, we'll make you feel the heat. And today there'll be people that are feeling the heat as a result of what's on that table and the rest of the drug which is elsewhere being processed as we speak. Again, I would also like to thank all of the partners, and again, this is the sort of seizure that we like to see, particularly at this time of the year. Thanks. I introduced Roman. Customs, thanks.
Thanks, Andrew. Good morning, afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I want to firstly congratulate the Joint Organised Crime Group for the arrests that occurred this morning. As both the Commissioner of New South Wales Police and the Commissioner of the Australian Federal Police have mentioned, this is just the start of the operation. The investigation will continue well into the future. I won't repeat the comments in relation to the magnitude and scope of this detection and seizure, other than to say I share the sentiments of both Commissioners who have expressed their opinions in relation to what is a significant and substantial disruption of the drug trade in Australia. Some facts. Acting on an intelligence operation we've been running for some time now. Last Friday, Customs and Border Protection selected a sea cargo container from Hamburg in Germany for examination. On examination of that container, we located 1,917 kilograms of MDMA or ecstasy and 849 kilos of methamphetamine or ice. On that detection, our partners commenced an investigation culminating today's arrests. As I say, the investigation is ongoing.
I might just hand over to the ACCCO and then we'll take one last question.
Thank you. Look, Commissioner Scipione has already outlined very clearly the danger of all illicit drugs, and he's referred to ecstasy. I want to particularly reinforce the issue about ice. We've been warning for some time that ice is the most dangerous of all of these drugs that we've seized. All of them are dangerous, but we're particularly concerned about ice because it is not only just impacting on our cities, our regional cities, our towns, it's now regrettably into remote communities, very small communities as well, right across Australia. So this is a national problem. It is one that pervades our streets. It does impact very much on volume crime and those crimes that do occur and hit our families in the street, but it has gone beyond the cities, it's now right across the town. So we just want to reinforce the magnitude of this issue and the importance of taking this amount off the streets. Thank you.
Okay, last question.
Just a small detail. You've got Australian residents. Is that the same as citizens, or are you making a distinction there?
No, we're making a distinction. They're all Australian residents. I don't have the exact details in front of me of their residential status, but they're all
Australians.
They're all Australians. And in fact, yeah, I think we might leave it at that. You'll get the details from the court of their exact identity.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
That was AFP Commissioner Andrew Colvin and the New South Wales Police Commissioner Andrew Scipione, along with Customs